So I get this question a lot. What do I pay a sub advisor or a sales advisor or a service advisor or a junior advisor? They're named a lot of things in this business, but what do I pay them? What's the going rate? What should my commission cuts be? What should they be paid on AUM or insurance products? How do I pay them? What should I pay them in order to keep them, in my company and then also, building that revenue and helping our clients move forward? So this is probably the number one question that I get as a sales coach, as a coach for financial advisors is how and what do I pay my advisors as I bring them on? Now, a lot of people call them a lot of different things, but basically they are advisors underneath you. They are fully licensed financial advisors that are basically maybe learning from you, and they're part of your scaling business as you grow and scale your business up. These are those advisors underneath you. So what do I pay them? Well, you really have to define what they do. So there's basically, if it comes down to two different types of advisors. There's a sales advisor. A sales advisor is somebody that actually does sales. So they are sitting in first and second appointments, trying to bring prospects onto your firm to become clients. So they need sales skills as well as being a financial advisor. This is going to be a little bit more heavy stress. They're going to have numbers that they need to hit. And so they get a bigger commission chunk of the commission from your business as they sell more. They need to give a bigger chunk from the revenue, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But number two is a service advisor. A service advisor does not sell at all. And if they do sell or bring on new assets, it's because they met with current clients and it just so happened that they had extra assets or extra things on the side that they can bring onto your firm. And you can still pay them on that as well, but they're going to be more heavy on the salary side, because it's not as stressful for their business. They just need to come in and love on their clients and keep your clients and keep that retention high. They don't get as big of a chunk on the commission because they're not having to sell as much. So I'm going to go through those two different scenarios as far as bringing on those sales advisors and what we've seen on an average. Now, so we went to our top 15 advisors here at Advisors Excel. And so we went to them and tried to find out, what do they pay their advisors? And so they are all over the country. So there's a fairly large range of how they pay, but at least I can give you in this video an average of those top 15. Those top 15, they're bringing anywhere from $50 to $150 million of new assets and new flow into their businesses. So kind of take that as it is. But that's just to kind of give you a gauge on how much they are paying their service advisors as well as sales advisors. So when we surveyed them, the sales advisor pay range was fairly large. It was $40,000 to $100,000 on a salary. So remember that sales advisor usually has a lower salary with a higher commission split because they are doing a lot more sales. And so a lot of times if you're not able to pay them as much, and you'll have to give them a little bit more commission on the back end. The average out of those top 15 was about $75,000 from a salary. So it really depends on how you want to structure that, but the average across the 15 was $75,000 on the salary. On the commission side of things, the average split on assets under management, so AUM, was 24%. So the new assets and new flow that were coming in, they get paid 24% on that new assets coming through. Now, there's a big, I would say argument, but debate, right, on do you continue to pay them on that AUM? That's more of structure that you want to build out, and there's many different sides of that on how you build that out. But at least on new flow, they're getting 24% in that first year. And then on the fixed index annuity range, they are getting 27% of that first year commission. So 27% and 24% on those commissions that are coming through and new assets coming through the business. Now, there's also a first appointment expectation. How many first appointments do they need to be sitting in per week? This ranged all over the place. It really depends on your lead flow. And as I talked about in my scaling video, you need to be able to double your lead flow. But the average across the board in these top 15 was they need to have 5 new appointments per week that they need to be meeting with. So that's really up to you as the main advisor to make sure their calendars are full, but they need 5 brand new appointments per week. So that means they're also meeting with the second appointments and third appointments and maybe a couple service appointments. That'll fill up most of their week, but they need to be sitting in 5 new appointments per week. Now, moving on to the service advisor. So this is the person that's not selling. They're retaining, they're loving on your clients, they're meeting, they're doing annual, quarterly reviews with these clients, taking service calls to make sure that they're really retaining your clients. Now, this range is also fairly large, and it's pretty similar actually to the sales advisor range because they do make a little bit less because they don't have that stress of selling. Now, the salary was a range from 40,000 all the way up to 100,000. And from this, what I've seen is really depends on the licensing that they have, the tenure that they have. So if you're bringing on somebody that's, been in the industry for 10, 15 years, more than likely that salary is going to be a lot higher. But if you're bringing somebody straight out of college, maybe they just had their CFP, but they still don't really want to sell, their salary is going to be a little bit lower, mainly because they just don't have that experience and you can ramp it up over time. But the average was 70,000 across the nation in those top 15 offices when it comes to salary. Now, like I said before, that split on the commission is a lot lower. So the AUM and FIA average commission was 5%. So 5% of total revenue to your business on the book that they are working. That's probably most important too. You might have multiple service advisors. You need to make sure that they're not being paid on all your clients, but the clients that they are retaining and they're working with. So 5% on FIAs as well as AUM, and then 5% on the life insurance business. So pretty split across the board, but that was the average that we saw. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of, what to pay your financial advisors, your service advisors, and your sales advisors as you grow and scale your business. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Make sure you hit subscribe for more videos to come out by The Proven Way. I got plenty of more value that's coming your way. We're going to be posting videos every single week as much as we can on value out to you for marketing, business tips, leadership tips, sales tips on how you can be the best financial advisor you can be.